Grand, glorious rising, dreamers, and welcome to I can't believe it, it's day 13. Is it day 13? Yes, there we go. It is day 13. You know what? Yesterday I did a motivational sort of speech because we're halfway through and I wasn't really feeling great yesterday, and I'm not feeling the best today, but I had to show up for you, and I have to show up for you today and for myself. And so here I am. We are at day 13. And, that halfway point, like with any race, I don't want us to give up. And I'm receiving some wonderful comments that this is like a good time for people to start this challenge. And again, it doesn't matter if you started on the first day or you're just joining today. Whenever you start, you're right on time. Today, speaking of being right on time, that is what we're going to talk about, anchoring our time with our dream. Because what time is a sacred gift, right? Our breath and our time are two of the most valuable gifts that we have that God has given us. So we want to take a deep dive into how do we align that time, with our dream? How are we spending our time? And how do we also align so we're not chasing, right? But we're also planning. So that is what we're going to take a deep dive into today. And I'm going to kindly and with gratitude ask, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And also, please feel free to share to help us grow this community of dreamers. I really do believe now is the time for dreamers to create the world we wish to see, now more than ever, right? All right, so let's get a little time to do a little grounding within our bodies. I'm really going to try to keep this to 10 minutes today because I know sometimes I do go over. So let's just center ourselves and ground ourselves. Whatever surface you're on, I'll invite you to close your eyes, gently close them, and just start to feel present in this moment. See if you can smell something to bring yourself present. Take a breath. I smell the candle burning in my home. It's like a pumpkin vanilla. It smells really yummy. And then take a moment to see hear, I should say, to check in with your hearing and see what sounds you're aware of. Again, just grounding us in this present moment. Just thank yourself for being here. Thank yourself for making time today just for you, for showing up, having the audacity to show up for yourself. Beautiful. And maybe just a gentle affirmation. I am aligned with time. My time is sacred. Yes, and just hold that in your heart. I'm just going to place my hand over my heart. And maybe let's take a deep breath together, bringing your arms up, maybe a little stretch at the top, and prayer hands through heart center, and perhaps just set your intention for the day. What would you like more of in your life today? Is it more joy, more peace, more time? Peace with time? More calm? Maybe more laughter? Maybe more love? Whatever it is, just take the time to set a one or two word intention. Beautiful. I'll ask that you slowly open your eyes. And if you like, I love to do a little flamingo hands because we are going to do a little writing. Hopefully, you have your journals nearby. Yesterday was a complete just break from journaling, and hopefully, well, not in the evening, but in the morning. And hopefully, you were just inspired and visualizing yourself running this race because we are halfway through, at least the 21 days. I don't know what your dream is, but feel free to share it with me in the comments. And again, whatever the starting point is, it's fine. The bottom line is you've started and you're here today showing up in this powerful way. All right, so let's just talk a little bit about time. And, sometimes we are struggling, right, with time. Sometimes I used to say, time is my friend, because I always felt like I was in such a battle with time. And still, sometimes I feel like that. I'm sure many of you do too. But how can we become more present with time? Because all we really have now is this present moment, right? We can plan for the future. We can think about the past and learn lessons, hopefully, from it. Or sometimes we stay stuck in the past and those stories, right? But those are just concepts. What we have now is present in this moment. This is the time, right? So now really is the time for us to think about, and I know you have thought about it from day one, your dream, your heart's desire, your visions. So now we're going to see how can we align our dream with the time that we have and start to make a plan, right? Start to set a date. Not a date so you're just stressing yourself out, but we do need to have a plan in order to reach our goals, all right? So why don't we take a moment? We're going to grab our journals and we're going to anchor ourselves. I told you I'm going to have a little merch. I'm going to have a little merch. But let's start with our first prompt. When do I want to see this dream start to show up in my life? When do I want to see this dream show up in my life? And then we'll talk about maybe putting that date on the calendar for you. So let's just take a moment to write that down. Okay. When would you like, first of all, if you haven't identified your dream that you're bringing to this challenge, or even a dream that you're thinking about today or a goal that you'd like to bring, when would you like to see it show up in your life? Okay. And then our second prompt is, what can I do to prepare for this date without stress? So now I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. What can I do to prepare for this date without stress? So let me give you a couple of minutes to write that and reflect on that. Okay, let's get to it. All righty. Some of the things that came up for me are really setting a realistic date, right? That helps to lessen some of that stress, right? And the other thing that comes up for me is to be accountable for my time, right? And to know how I'm spending it. Sometimes I've even done a daily flow exercise. And you can see if you keep a calendar, I do that as well, and write things in your calendar. You can see how you're spending your time and start. I mean, we did that visualization, right? Of how do you spend your time, and then what's your ideal way of spending time, and how do you clear time for yourself. So that came up for me. And the other thing is that came up for me is to make sure that I am spending some time to connect to myself. Some time for me, prayer time is really important. For grounding, for me to connect to God, that's really important for me. So, what is it, those times, the time you want to spend that's non negotiable, that helps you to de stress, right? So then let's look at our second prompt, and that is, how can I protect my time and energy? How can you protect your time and energy as you move forward towards your dream? Okay, so let's write that. What are the energy drainers? All right. Certainly, you can always come back to this, or perhaps if you, again, if the practice of journaling is not your cup of tea, certainly just take a moment to close your eyes, meditate, think on it. Or you could be driving in your car right now and listening, or you could be taking a walk and listening and thinking about how do you protect your time and your energy, or do you? Sometimes we don't. I know I sometimes don't. You listen, as parents, caregivers, um, when you work, all of it, we give our time to people and our energy to people. Healers, we give our time and energy to people. Educators, everyone gives their time, doctors, attorneys, it doesn't matter, what your profession, if you're around people, and I'm sure you are, people can be energy stealers and energy drainers. So, who are those people in your life that are stealing your energy, that are draining you, right? And sometimes it could be friends, it could be family. Just have to, this is the time to really get real with yourself, right? And also get real with the tasks that you do. What distractions are energy drainers? Is it social media? So many people, they say, it's not good for my mental health. So limit yourself there for sure. So take your own inventory of what's healthy for you. And energy drainers, people that are energy stealers, tasks that you're doing that are energy drainers, I am going to encourage you to stop it, right? First, though, it takes an awareness, and then start to set boundaries, right? To people that are stealing your time, or for tasks that are taking your time away from your own goals, your own vision, and your life that you want to live and lead. All right. So I am going to get into our affirmation today. Again, I'm not feeling the greatest today. I feel a little hot, but I am grateful that I could be here and show up. So here is our affirmation. I lovingly give my dream time to bloom, honoring its place in my life. That is really nice. I lovingly give my dream a time to bloom. That's so important, honoring its place in my life. Sometimes we try to rush our dream, and we have to know. I think my first guest, Danielle Saunders, said, when God says it's time. God says so. But listen, sometimes one thing you do know, what's yours is yours, and no one can take that away from you. Okay? So don't feel always so stressed. I have to have it now. Maybe you need to be prepared for when your dream comes to fruition, into it becomes into reality. So honor that. Honor the fact that it has time to bloom. All right? Listen, I just thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope that today was valuable, and I hope that you start really becoming aware of how you're spending your time. Tomorrow, we're going to get a chance to take a bit of a deeper dive so we can really start making a plan, setting a calendar, and setting a date. And if you want, you can even write on a sticky note. Hopefully, you came up with a date for your dream, and you can write down that date, your dream, and a date when you want to accomplish it, and put it somewhere where you can see it every day. And then we're going to make a plan of how you can get there to reach that dream. All right. Hey, if you honored this time with me today, please feel free to subscribe, share it with someone, share it with a friend. And I really, again, I appreciate you with love and gratitude. I thank you. I'm almost choked up again, just not feeling my best, but I appreciate and I'm grateful that I could be here. I will see you this evening for a little self reflection.